Well, gang, what a week it is. The Los Angeles Dodgers are World Series champions. Today is election day, finally, and the Los Angeles real estate market is on fire. It's looking more like springtime than autumn out there. But even with all this heat, and we're talking about escalating sales numbers and escalating prices, there are still cracks in the facade. There are still some weaknesses. And that's what we're digging into in today's Los Angeles Real Estate Roundup for November 5th, 2024, brought to you by Blueprint. Save an average of $20,000 in realtor fees when you buy with Blueprint. Learn more and schedule a one-on-one call with me at www.buywithblueprint.com. And one more note of housekeeping. This is the last video you'll see in this setting, which is my dining room. That's right, I'm moving up, I'm moving on out, I'm getting an office. That'll allow me to make even more videos for you guys. So, if you're a California home buyer, let me know in the comments what you want to see videos about, either about steps in the home buying process or market reviews of your market. Let me know where you are, and I might cover your market next. Now, let's get into the numbers. And right now we're looking at the latest weekly print from Redfin for the Los Angeles metro market. And as you can see, home prices in Los Angeles have been climbing for 4 straight weeks. Right now, the median price of a home in Los Angeles is $905,000. That's up from $883,000 just a month ago. That's an increase of $22,000 over the last 4 weeks. Now, this is a time of year when prices are usually falling. They don't always fall this time of year. In fact, last year in 2023, we had a similar upswing in October going into November. But still, in the long arc of time, this is a time of year when prices should be settling down, not running up. Now we're looking at new listing median price. This is the median price at which new homes are being listed on the Los Angeles market. And this week we had a sharp uptick after 2 weeks of declines. That puts the new listing median price of a Los Angeles home at $946,749. I can practically see the agents out there raising the listing price, feeling like maybe they got a little ahead of their skis, and then seeing what's actually happening to prices right now, popping right back up this week. Now we're looking at new listings. This is how many homes come to market each week in Los Angeles. And we've been on a decline for the last month. This week, we are at 1,324 new homes to market. And with this October-November bump in 2023's numbers, our year-over-year numbers are really going to be declining over this month decline. A month ago, we were at 15.2 more new listings than the same week the previous year, then 16.3, then 11.9, then 8.9, and now we're just 6.5% growth in new listings compared to this week last year. And I think we are going to reach 0% year-over-year growth at the top of last year's hump. Now we're looking at homes sold. This number climbed just a hair last week to 980 homes sold in Los Angeles. And as you can see, homes sold has been hovering over last year's numbers for about 2 months now. But of course, we knew homes sold was going to be higher than last year's numbers because pending sales has been growing for about the past 2 months, and now it's beginning to decline. This week, we saw 1,168 homes go pending on the Los Angeles market. And as we've discussed, pending sales is a very current number. This is how many homes went into contract this week. In about 4 or 5 weeks, most of these homes will show up as homes sold. Some of them, of course, will not actually get to sale. Some properties fall out of contract before the sale concludes. But we can look at pending sales as a leading indicator of where homes sold is going. And what we can see here is that pending sales is beginning to trend down. So our homes sold number over the next couple of weeks should begin to trend down toward last year's numbers. But still, the damage is done when you have several weeks of new listings declining and several weeks of home sales elevated over last year's numbers. You get declining active listings. This is the total number of active listings in Los Angeles. This week we were at 16,114, and that number has been declining for the last month. And we can really see that decline when we scroll down to look at the year-over-year numbers. About a month ago, we had 28.98% more active listings than the same week the previous year. Now we're down to 22.21% more active listings than the same time last year. This number has really taken a nosedive, and that's what you'd expect to see along with these home price increases. Prices go up when inventory goes down. Now, when we combine the inventory numbers with the demand numbers, we get weeks of supply. This is my favorite metric because it balances supply against demand to tell us where supply is relative to demand. We are at 16.6 weeks of supply in Los Angeles this week. Last week we were at 16.8. What's notable is that the supply numbers have remained relatively flat over the last 2-3 months. And that's notable because this is a time of year when inventory generally climbs, like it did in 2022, like it did in 2023. 2021 inventory was declining at this time of year, but also 2021 was a red hot year. So when we look at these supply numbers, it should be no surprise that indeed prices are climbing. In fact, when we look at this metric, off market in 2 weeks as a percentage of pending sales, we see something totally unprecedented for this time of year. This metric tracks the percentage of homes that go into contract in 2 weeks or less, and this number has been on a tear for 5 straight weeks. 5 weeks ago, we were at 20% of homes going under contract within 2 weeks of being listed, and now we're at 27% of homes going under contract within 2 weeks of being listed. And if you compare the run of the last 5 weeks to the previous years, you can see that the orange line, 2024, doesn't look like any of the previous years. 2021, which was our super hot year, we were flat. 2022, we were descending to flat. 2023, we were descending. Only this year in 2024 is this metric climbing in this October time period. This metric indicates a market that's really beginning to heat up, but at the same time, we also have price drops accelerating. The percent of active listings with a price drop has been climbing for 8 straight weeks. We're now up at 4.7% of listed homes carrying a price drop. And what's wild is that you expect to see price drops in the fall and winter as prices generally fall. So great, we're having price drops as we should expect, but we're actually seeing price drops increase at a rate we haven't seen recently. Last year, 2023, price drops grew modestly. 2021 price drops are actually falling this time of year, but again, 2021 was a super hot year. 2022, the black line was a weird market because basically from here to here, rates doubled. And so that's when price cuts really climbed. And so for the rest of the year, we kind of plateaued and then we fell off. But getting back to this year, what we're seeing is a elevation in price drops at the same time that we're seeing an elevation of homes being sold in 2 weeks or less. This, of course, speaks to, and I've said it before, the bifurcated Los Angeles housing market. Turnkey, move-in ready homes sell quickly because the buyers that are out there right now are really, really motivated. But there aren't a ton of buyers. So if a home comes to market that needs a little work, isn't quite move-in ready, it's going to sit for a while. It's going to see a price cut before it gets bought. And it's important to keep this in mind as a Los Angeles home buyer. If you see a home and you love it and it's move-in ready, you have to be very aggressive in your offering to win the bidding. And if you can tolerate a little bit of renovation, doing a little bit of work before you move in, then you have a much larger pool of homes to choose from. There's much less competition. You won't be quite as rushed, and you'll be able to get a price that works for you. I'm very excited to see where the market goes this fall and winter. I hope you are too. Subscribe for more Los Angeles real estate roundups.